So I recently put up a poll on my Twitter asking you all what would be the next review I should do, and there were a choice of three, those being The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Killzone Shadowfall, and Warframe. And as it turns out, Skyrim won the poll. But how does one even tackle a game like this? I mean, the completionists back in the olden days struggled trying to 100% it. And Destry Smith on his gaming channel Despones also reviewed this game. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest here. This is going to be hard trying to come up with new material to try and talk about this game. But anyways, here's my review of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Now, before we start, I just want to let you all know I'm mainly going to be talking about the PS3 and PC versions since they were the ones I had the most experience with. I did play Skyrim on a younger cousin's Xbox One and saw an older cousin play on the Xbox 360, but since I'm a PlayStation guy, I'm just going to be talking about the PS3 version the most. So, Skyrim is an action-adventure role-play game developed by Bethesda Studios and published by Bethesda Software. This is obviously the fifth entry in the Elder Scrolls series, but if you're not great with the Roman numerals, that V in the title is 5. This is also the follow-up to the fourth game of the series, Oblivion, and it was released worldwide for Windows, PS3, Xbox 360 on November 11th, 2011, with a PS4 and Xbox version on October 28th, 2016, and a Switch port on November 17th, 2017. To this day, it is still regarded as one of, if not the best open world game ever made. The gameplay of Skyrim is that of an action RPG. It is also playable from either a first-person or third-person point of view. The player can free roam all over the land of Skyrim, which is what I mostly enjoyed the most of it, and it is also mainly why I sunk 356 hours into the Steam version and almost 100% to this game. Now, like any RPG, there are, of course, many places for things that want you dead, like the wilderness and dungeons for wolves and bandits, to even the likes of cities, towns, and among other non-hostile places, if you decide to be a jerk and punch an innocent person square in the face. Anyway, there are also many races that you could choose from, which also encourages replayability. But I mainly go for the human Nord since they're the all-around race. I did try out the other races, but they didn't suit me very good. Now, apart from using the likes of swords, arrows, among other most likely weaponry, Skyrim also has fun spells for you to use, and you can even use something called a Thuhum to use shouts, and they are honestly really fun to use, and if you just want to mess around. So if you like a game that encourages replayability and you can also have fun with it, then I believe Skyrim definitely delivers just that. Now here's the thing that I'm dreading to explain. The synopsis of the setting and characters. So if I butcher something or miss something, I'm sorry. Now, Skyrim is set around 2 centuries after the events of Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. Although it is not a direct sequel, the game takes place in the land of Skyrim, a province of the Empire on the continent of Tamriel, amid a civil war between two factions, those being the Stormcloaks, led by Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak of Windhelm, and the Imperial Legion, led by General Tullius of Solitude. The player is what the game calls a Dragonborn, a mortal born with the soul and power of a dragon, hence the name. Alduin is a large black dragon who manages to return to the land after being lost in time, and he also serves as this game's primary antagonist. Now, in the lore of the game, Alduin is said to be the first ever dragon created by Akatosh, one of the series' gods, and is prophesied to destroy and consume the entire world, which led to Alduin being nicknamed the World Eater. Now, as always in these reviews, I try not to explain the plot, so either play the game yourself or read the plot synopsis on Wikipedia. Oh, forgot to mention about the DLCs of this game. Luckily, there are only 3 DLCs for Skyrim, those being Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn. To sum up these DLCs perfectly as best as I can, Dawnguard is where you have a choice to either be a vampire hunter, someone like Van Helsing from the movie of the same name, or you can become a vampire, which is the choice I always go for because I love vampires. There's just something about them that makes them so badass in oh so many ways. All while you're accompanied by a female vampire named Serena, who you unfortunately cannot marry, which leads us into Hearthfire, which allows players to build houses and adopt children, and I believe it's also the DLC where you can get married. I only dabbled in the house building because buying a house in the halls of Skyrim don't have a whole lot of space to display the loot I always get. And now we have the final DLC of Skyrim, that being Dragonborn. And this is what I consider to be another epically crafted DLC story, which has the character try and confront a new big bad only exclusive to this DLC who goes by the name of Mirak, aka the first ever Dragonborn who unfortunately has become corrupted and seeks to control the entire world. Now, we have the modding community. The modding community for Skyrim is honestly so amazing. Like, some of these mods that you can find either on the Steam Workshop or on consoles could be fully fledged quests or stories for Skyrim itself. All I can say is, if you have either the PC, PS4, or Xbox One versions of Skyrim, go get some mods for this game if you want to make it even more enjoyable than it already is. And if you have the Switch version of Skyrim, you can use the Legend of Zelda amiibos like Link, Zelda, among others, and get gear, weapons, and a shield for Skyrim, those being the Master Sword, the Hylian Shield, and the Champion's Tunic. So with all that I said, does Skyrim still hold up even for today's standards? Oh, you bet it does! This is honestly one of the most enjoyable games. Though it can be repetitive, I ignore stuff like that because I'm enjoying myself while playing the game. Going through dungeons and taking a stroll through the wilderness are only scratching the surface of what I often do in Skyrim. So with that being said, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim gets a perfect score of 10 out of 10. This game even today is still being played, and Shirley Curry, who holds the record of the oldest gamer, even does a Let's Play of Skyrim on her channel, which I'll provide a link in the description below in case you don't believe me. So I want to hear from you all. Did you ever play Skyrim before? If so, how many hours did you sink into it? And of course, my main go-to question, could you recommend it to a friend? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I've been Horrorkid, and if you'll excuse me, I have a game to win to 100% complete. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.